Hello, good afternoon. This is Paul Lennon, naive and sentimental Dubliner in the Legion of Christ. And today is Sunday, the 28th of June, 2020. And I'm taping today the 38th episode of my life during and after the Legion of Christ. The English version for you, based on my autobiography, which was originally called Our Father Who Art in Bed, Our Father Maciel Who Art in Bed, a naive and sentimental Dubliner in the Legion of Christ, and then the later version, which I changed and had a new introduction with a year or so ago, is just a naive and sentimental Dubliner in the Legion of Christ. I took out that rather scandalous original title. But here we go now. And as you can see here, if you look here, where are we? Show you the book here. I think I'm more than halfway through, so that's the good news. And here I'm talking about the series of letters I exchanged with Father Maciel as I was negotiating my official way out of the Legion of Christ and playing cat and mouse with him, with Father Maciel and with the Legion, whatever. So this episode I'm going to call Mouse and Cat with the Legion of Christ. Let's change it around a little bit, because I really am the mouse, but I'm the mouse that roared. So I'm the mouse and he's the cat, and the mouse now is trying to kind of getting his own back on Father Maciel and the Legion by using delaying tactics. About leaving, about getting my canonical status fixed, the way the Legion desires it to be. And so I'm kind of playing a little tug of war with Father Maciel. Anyway, here we are. I've written 2 or 3 letters now to Father Maciel at this stage of the game. And now let me just introduce this and bring you up to date. On February the 11th, 1985, I had arrived in the Diocese of Washington, D.C., and was placed under the kind tutelage of Monsignor James J. Reddy. May he rest in peace. In late February or early March, a letter from Father Maciel dated February was forwarded to me. From the original in my possession, I literally translate Father Maciel's or his secretary's typewritten reply to my second letter. I say this advisedly. You will remember I sent one letter to him asking for a vacation, and that was on the 20th of December. Then 26th of December of '84, I kind of upped the ante, as Americans say, and was requesting a leave of absence from the Legion, which could have been like a period of a year or 3 or 2 years or so, to kind of get myself together. And that's, as I said before, that's allowed by canon law. So Father Maciel answers me to my letter from the 26th of December. I think I asked him to urgently respond to this, assuming he was going to take it to the Vatican and to the proper authorities. But anyway, this is what he wrote. This is a letter that was sent to me by Father Maciel, to my home, to my sister's home in Ennis, County Clare, where I'd asked him to reply. So I was in Ireland now at this stage of the game. Or was I? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was probably, I don't know how this letter got to me then. I was now already in Washington at this stage of the game, and that letter was being sent to Ennis, to Ireland. So anyway, Thy kingdom come. Maciel, Legionary of Christ, private letter. February, no exact date, 1985, Padre Paul Lennon, Legionary of Christ, Clockley, I won't give the complete address, Ennis, County Clare. Dear Padre Paul, midway through the month of January, I received your letter in Mexico. Now, I sent it to Rome. Now he receives it in Mexico. dated December the 26th, in which you communicate your decision to leave the Legion because you think that, quote you, your personality does not seem appropriate for the lifestyle demanded by the Legion, end of quotes. I believe that with a little effort and goodwill, and with the always available grace of God, everything would have been possible. Nevertheless, Padre Paul, I respect your decision, no matter how painful it may be for me to see leave one of our priests, who for so many years has worked generously in the apostolic tasks entrusted to him. I thank you in my own name, in the name of the Legion and of the Church, this is glorious, for these beautiful years that you have spent serving souls. All the good that you have done to confirm your brothers in the faith, first in the School of Faith and later on the Quintana Roo mission, stands as your greatest work. Man may not adequately appreciate it, but our divine Lord values it and rewards you for all it is worth. Let me know to which diocese you wish to go. Ask the bishop to accept you benevolently, as the proper term. I was using benignly before. It's not. It's benevolently. And let me know so I can send my letter of request in your name. So I can send my letter of request in your name, and so that I can then negotiate your dispensation from vows with the Sacred Congregation of Religious at the Vatican. Finally, Padre Paul, I entrust you to the Blessed Virgin Mary, protectress and inspirer of your priesthood. You pray for me and the Legion. With an affectionate greeting for you and your family, I remain very affectionate with the family, but I didn't get to see them very much. There's a lot of blah, blah, blah. Forgive my skepticism. I remain most affectionate and faithful servant in Jesus Christ, Maciel LC, and I note signed in ink. So this may have been a letter that Maciel dictated to his secretary and then would have signed it along with 50 or 100 other letters. Forgive me. Without a doubt, Father Maciel is a wily letter writer, crafter. He begins by taking control and goes on to make me feel guilty for not doing enough to save my legionary vocation. And then I retro quote. This is a kind of a guilt trip. The Legion and other such groups are very good or sending you on a guilt trip. And that is one of the remarks that my friend Lily Conde made to me around this time of my exiting. She said, Paul, this group really knows how to send you on a guilt trip. So, quoting Father Maciel's writer or himself, I believe that with a little effort and goodwill, and with the always available grace of God, everything would have been possible. So I'm to blame. I was lacking more effort and more goodwill on my part. Now, when you have a problem in the Legion and you address your superior or your spiritual director, you will basically get the same message. A little bit more effort, a little bit more generosity with the Lord. Un poco más de generosidad. So people have been saying that to members for decades now, maybe from the very beginning. It's that little blaming mechanism. You know, I'm sorry to see you go. You're a great man. You've done so much good. You've been such a faithful legionary, and that's a lie. I've always been a kind of a recalcitrant legionary and rather rebellious legionary. But now, as we say in Ireland, the plumos, the praise is in the in the ifing, whatever it is the proper word, but I almost made a mistake there. But the praise now is in the air, in the offing, was that a Freudian slip? Don't answer. So I believe that with a little effort and goodwill, kind of understand in parenthesis on your part, he doesn't say that. And with the always available grace of God, I mean, God is not going to fail, Paul. You might fail, but God is not going. I knew that already, Father Maciel. Everything would have been possible. So you would have continued to turn yourself into a pretzel. And as your friend and counselor Peter Foley said, you could have continued to bounce off the walls in the Legion of Christ for another 7 or 10 or 17 years ad infinitum. Everything would have been possible. I was annoyed when I wrote my autobiography. Now I'm not annoyed. Now I'm in a place of peace, or a piece of place. I'm in a place of peace and very benevolent myself towards all and sundry. I would not be as angry as I was then. I will be suave. But I quoted Bob Dylan there, positively 4th Street at that particular time. I was a little bit annoyed. You say I'll let you down. You know it's not like that. If you're so hurt, why then don't you show it? You say you lost your faith, but that's not where it's at. You had no faith to lose, and you know it. Bob. Little bitter, Bob. So I remarked in my original autobiography, I saw Father Maciel's previous phrase as patronizing and certainly minimizing my 23-year effort to squeeze myself into the legionary mold. I did not find the above letter helpful, flowery, yes, but unhelpful. It's not giving me anything. It's asking me for something. So it kind of turns it around. I'm asking you for something, then Father Maciel asks me for something. Let me know to which diocese you wish to go. So he wants me to show my hand. Ask the bishop to accept you benevolently, and let me know so I can send my letter of request. Okay, that's okay. He would send a letter to the bishop and then negotiate your dispensation. So it's going to be a long drag here, Father Maciel. I had not trusted Father Maciel enough to initially tell him to which diocese I was heading. I decided to work with the Diocese of Washington and get counsel there from priest personnel and other clergy, and later present Father Maciel with my plans, and to stop depending on Father Maciel and the Legion for my well-being and life decisions. I took psychological assessment tests offered by the Diocese of Washington, and I was having weekly pastoral counseling, which I paid for out of my monthly diocesan stipend. Basta, as the Italians say and as the Spanish say. That is enough for today. Please stay safe and be well. Until the next time, this is your friend Paul Lennon signing off from Guatemala.